Yo, man, with this Final Fantasy VII remake, I thought to myself, what other games could Square Enix remake? And I think they would be a banger. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, there's quite a few games. I was a little bit interested in it. And I thought to myself, Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is a game I definitely want remade. That was actually really fun. That was great. Another game, Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger. Yo, man. Yes. Remake. Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's spooky.
That this game has not been remade. Yo, it's Akira Toriyama fucking making Dragon Ball Super over here. Tell his ass to come over, make some fucking Chrono Cross, fucking Chrono Trigger. Get on it, doggone it. I did a Camelot 331. His Gamer Composer does that a bit. But yo, man, come on. Come on. You can get Akira to be like, hey, man, let's cross it up. Let's do this Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger. Let's get this shit made, bro. Jeez. Then what else? The World Ends With You. Oh my gosh. How would that not be a thing? The World Ends With You? That's a fucking dream drop distance. Nomura's just doing whatever the fuck he wants anyways. Let him just make that and just like fucking include your Zoro. Yo, fucking include some Kingdom Hearts characters in that bitch. Let him remake The World Ends With You and tie that shit into the Kingdom Hearts series. Let him just do it, Square Enix. Why is this not a remake? This would sell. This would be a banger. Do that shit, Square. Alright? Dragon Quest VIII is another game I would love remade as well. In fact, you know what you should do, Square? Because you've already got wonderful Dragon Quest games. You should take the knowledge and experience that you've made throughout the other Dragon Quest games. Combine it with the power of, like, you know, Dragon Quest VIII. Combine that motherfucker straight together, and guess what you would make? You would make an amazing fucking remake that would make people be like, oh shit, this is fucking incredible. Parasite Eve. Although I've heard rumors that apparently Square is looking at Parasite Eve. Bitch, I don't know why you haven't been looking at Parasite Eve to begin with. That should have been a remake. That should have been a fucking remaster since the PS3. People have been clamoring for Parasite. That game is still expensive online. How was this not the first thing? Square Enix, what do you do? Parasite Eve will be a great remake. That's like, yo, it'd be a fantastic remake. Get on it. Do it. Come on. Ooh. Speaking of Nomura and a Dragon Quest series, Drakengard would be fucking incredible. Drakengard would be insane in the membrane. Holy crap. Let Yoko Taro off his leash. Let him remake this game in the image that he sees fit. Give him the same respect as Nomura. Let him go ham with the Drakengard series. That shit would be incredible if that got a remake. Drakengard 1 and 3, especially 3. Oh my gosh. I got all these buttons, and it just does not really, like, man, this would be remake Drakengard 3. Yes! Yes! Do you know there's some good DLC for Drakengard 3? You know what? I'm kind of upset that I didn't see that there was a pack, but I bought the first 2 DLCs to that game. Plan on buying the others, but so far, yes! Remake Drakengard 3. Incredible! Yes! Remake that game. Oh man, let Yoko Taro just off the leash and just go ham with that shit. Let him do the same thing that Nomura's doing with Kingdom Hearts. And it would just be beautiful. Like, Nier Automata, especially Nier Automata, that did fucking well. Let that man off the leash. Let him do the remake. And then, I got two last remakes that I kind of want to mention. I have to put this out there before I wrap this up. I got to get the real music together. Let me get the music. Final Fantasy VI. It's actually a really fucking fun game. And due to the hype of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the fact that people are just believing that Sephiroth is the end-all be-all of villains, I think Final Fantasy VI would not only do it justice, not because of the characters, not because of the protagonists, but because the main villain, Kefla. He is so badass. If you think Sephiroth is that, if you think Sephiroth is cool, wait till you see Kefla. My gosh, you have not seen insanity until you've seen Kefla. But I'm saying, Final Fantasy VI, story-wise, gameplay-wise, the characters, the world itself. What villain has destroyed the world besides Kefla? And another. Put that man in the game. Make that a remake. And then last but not least, motherfucking Final Fantasy XIII. Now, some people are asking, why Final Fantasy XIII? That's crazy. That's ridiculous. That game is booty butt cheeks. I'll say, first of all, hold up. It ain't booty butt cheeks. Have you played 9? That game. But anyways, though, 13, you're right. That game was rushed as a motherfucker. But there is story there. Most of it you have to read. It sucked ass that you had to read it, but it was actually a good read. You should probably read it. But that game had the potential of being as great as 10, and you know how good 10 is. But man, Final Fantasy 13, if they remade that game, if they gave Lightning a chance, yes, I know Lightning looks like Cloud, calm the fuck down. Most of the characters with Final Fantasy games look like another fucking character, so calm that shit down. But Final Fantasy 13, oh my gosh, that would have been so beautiful. You got and then even 13 too. You got fucking Caius. Caius is like on a league of his own, almost on Kefla's level, but I guarantee he's stronger than Sephiroth. He's better than Sephiroth. And most people are birthed by sleeping on Final Fantasy 13 series because of the bad experience of 13. But if that game got remade, if that game got a second chance, if, say Square Enix really got into their bag and remade that game, put all the things that they could into 13 that they should have been in there, it would be a banger and they would make money. Put Final Fantasy 13 on the remake list because it's a game that deserves to be remade. No, seriously though, like most of the level was kind of empty. Clearly they wanted to put extra stuff in there. There was more to the missions that they wanted to do. I feel like there was more to the game we could have explored. And there is really great story in 13. There really is. It sucks that most of it was put in text form. But it could have been, I feel like 13 would have been exactly what, 10 was. And everything would have been presented to us. And we would have had a better understanding and a better enjoyment of the game. So the fact that we would have bought 13-2. And we would have been more interested with it. And 13-2 has some interesting aspects to it. But most people just kind of stopped because of the bad experience of 13. And I do believe it deserves to be up there. Oh, also, shit, hold on. Let me play the music. I know this isn't a remake, but going into my 13 bag, and by the way, if 13 was made, you could definitely put Lightning back in that Louis Vuitton. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't know, Lightning was a seller for Louis Vuitton. And I believe that Lightning and Snow actually had a fucking car commercial. So, not only would that be great for Square Enix, you can actually sell off fucking Lightning to the Louis Vuitton store. Or she might be a Coach girl, I don't know. But Lightning is a woman that loves the expensive shit. And she's tough as fuck. Hell, she can probably sell some Timberlands. But there's one game that I think deserves to be made, and it's not a remake, it's a continuation, and that's fucking 13.3. The world wants 13.3. We are all looking forward to seeing what the hell happened between Titus, I'm gonna call him Titus, because it's actually Titus. I know it's Titus, but it's Titus in my version. Titus and Yuno. My gosh. You can't tell me that you aren't curious between those two. I remember playing Final Fantasy X now, and that game was incredible. The story, the action, the gameplay, the side missions, the quest in that damn game was incredible. But man, that ending was a heartbreaker. I cried when I got to the ending of Final Fantasy X. I cried so much, I was like, damn, I have to buy 10-2. I have to help Yuna. I have to see if Yuna and Titus, I meant to say Titus, whoops. Yuna and Titus make it together again. I know I'm pissing some people off saying Titus, but I had to see if they was together again. In fact, I was so hyped for that game that I pre-ordered it day one, second one, hour later one, and then when I went to purchase that game, I kicked down the EB game store that I went to and said, bitch, where is my copy of Final Fantasy X too? I want it! So a 10-3 is the way to be. I'm curious to see. I'm rapping right now. Bars! I want to see it. I want to see Titus and Yuna's kid. Titus and Yuna's kid. I want to see if Waka really got in that Waka Waka bag with Lulu. I want to see if Riku got into her groove too. I want to see if Pain dropped the pain and then deliver some House of Pain on a few men. Although I ain't gonna get into the story of like Pain, but I know she got a crush on a certain somebody. But I ain't saying because you need to play the game. But yo, man, we need a 10-3. 10-3 is the way to be. Remember, 10-3 is the way to be. Square Enix, that's what I want. Give me a fucking 13 remake. Give me a Drakengard remake. Those are the remakes. I want remakes on that shit. Look at Capcom. Capcom is getting away with all that shit. And I know 13 needs it. Especially now, because now it's always easy for you to get a second first impression. And I think 13 deserves it. And 6. Then we need a 13-3.